Welcome on back to Split Screen Experience. We're back with episode 7. I'm once again joined by my co-host Harmon.
Hey everyone, I'm Harmon, and today we actually got a guest for you.
Yeah, the guest that is the best, Skipmeister. You know how it be?
That's your legal name, right? Skipmeister?
It is in fact my legal name on my ID card. They says the one and only the Skipmeister, the
I
second.
see. The
For
second.
you who don't know, Jacob McClenathan, everyone.
Don't use my legal name.
Throw his
Don't drop my
address out
government name
too.
like that.
Too late. So, Skipmeister, what games have you been playing recently?
I've unfortunately gotten back into the grind of Dead by Daylight. Felt pretty solid lately. Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, and Smite. Most of them not fun. Just they're there.
What do you mean not fun? They're all fun. Especially Siege Ranked.
Yeah, Siege ranked with 4 teammates that couldn't hit a side of a barn.
Gaming is supposed to be fun, so I'm glad you're having fun with it. But anyways, let's get right into it. So for the first topic of discussion today, we have controllers for like specific games. I know I sent you guys the picture of the old Armored Core game with that really big controller. My dad had it. I don't know how much he played of it when I was younger because I still wasn't fully aware yet. But I know we had it, and I know I never got to play it because I was young and I didn't know how video games worked. But do you think we should bring back like specific game controllers?
There's certain instances, like you see the people, like I've seen a bunch of clips on the internet of like people who are like diehard like racing fan or driving, I should say more broadly driving fans who have like the full blown like driving simulator style thing like they use for testing people before they get out on the roads. And like to me that's cool if you're very dedicated, but I feel like in terms of most average gamers at this point probably wouldn't really care.
Unless you're a truck driver and you have an entire like driving rig or a pilot and you have like a home flying rig for like flight sim or truck sim. If they're not bringing back the bongos from Donkey Kong Country, I don't want it. It's just simple as that.
Not even the guitar or the drum
Okay.
set?
If they brought back Guitar Hero or Rock Band, yes, it would flow well with that. But other games don't need specific controllers.
What about the hit game DJ Hero?
Everyone's favorite.
Like before we started this, when I was on the phone with my dad, he's like, I was so close to buying the DJ Hero, and I'm so glad I didn't because we already had enough crap with the whole Beatles set. Like he bought the whole like Rock Band Beatles set.
Mm-hmm.
We had that big drum set, and me and my brother never really played drums with it.
Drums were hard on like Rock Band stuff, at least on like the is it just called hard? What was the one just above like normal difficulty?
I think it was
It was
just
just hard.
Okay,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if they had like a music name for it.
Rock Band. Let's be honest.
You're
They
right.
ain't thinking too much. They're just putting in songs.
Drums on hard, I remember being very hard.
Right, because you also had like the kickstand, like the kick
Mhm.
drum.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sucked.
it was just too much going on. Like I couldn't process it fast enough when the notes were coming in.
I still can't process it. Even Fortnite Festival drums, I'm still like, this is too hard.
Is that why you play lead guitar?
Yes. They start adding those little dashes, and no. I press one button. That's all I need to do.
Well, technically you're pressing multiple buttons.
Boo, boo.
Can't believe you did that to me.
What? But I think, right, we're getting controllers for the Fortnite festival.
Yes,
That's the thing, right?
yeah, we're getting guitars. I believe they launch in May, or that's their target launch is May. They seem to be reasonably priced. It seems to be a good controller because it has like a thumbstick in the neck of the guitar, so you can actually control the menus and navigate pretty easily. Which that's something I don't think any Rock Band remote ever had a proper thumbstick on the guitar. And they also have like you can change out the face plates, so that's pretty cool. So you can keep you can, like kind of customize the look of your guitar to make it more you, which I thought was pretty cool.
I feel like if you're gonna customize it, you're just gonna paint it though.
Or that.
Like,
But
what's a
for
$2 spray paint can?
If you're buying spray paint for $2, let me know where you're shopping at.
Like a Walmart. I don't know. Is it
it's
not
way more than that
$2?
Walmart.
No, paint's a lot more expensive than you think, buddy.
It's like $6 a can.
That's ridiculous.
At least that's what it was when we had to buy it for high school for a project.
So I got pretty excited today. A couple days ago actually, when I saw that something new for Mass Effect was coming for this year, because I didn't hear anything about it. And then when I dove in deeper to the article, yeah, it's just a strategy board game, and I'm less enthusiastic about it, but I think I'll still pick it up.
You're still buying it.
I know I'm still buying it.
You have an addiction to that game, and I don't know why.
It's good. It's a good franchise overall.
I'm addicted to the BioWare aspect of it, not the EA aspect of it.
No one's addicted to any EA aspects. EA is a terrible company. They make
Just like that,
decision
we're
a
not
year.
getting EA sponsorship.
They weren't sponsoring no one anyways. They're paying college kids $600 to use their name and image and likeness. They don't care about us.
Yeah, you're right. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah. What can I say? When you're right, you're right. There's no
At
arguing
least
with
they're giving
that.
us back college football. So I mean, there's something there.
Can't wait to play as BG and win a national title.
I can't wait to pay 5 cents to be able to throw the football every time.
Is NCAA going to be an EA title?
Yeah. It's not
Okay.
even NCAA anymore. They're not affiliated at all. It's just EA college football.
Oh,
So I don't know if they lost the licensing to that. 'Cause that's what
Probably.
originally happened was they lost the licensing and then name, image, and likeness wasn't a thing yet. So they're, you'd run out with your quarterback and it'd be like C. Smith number 4, quarterback 2.
so because like EA also does FIFA, because I know they lost the FIFA brand a while ago, or like 2 years ago, something like that. They lost the rights to the actual term FIFA.
Yeah.
So
That's
now
for
it's
the
like
best.
EA Football.
Don't forget NBA Live too.
Hey. NBA Live 19 was so good.
It was supposed to be a competitor to 2K, and everyone just kept clowning it because of like how the players looked.
Yeah, they did look terrible, but the actual gameplay was fine. They can just never compete with 2K, and that's their biggest issue. Is 2K has such a big brand name for sports logo and sports games in general that they have no competition because no one's going out and picking up Football Manager 24.
Hey, maybe I am. Maybe I'm a fan of management of a football club because they can't be called teams because they're assholes.
Then you need therapy.
I think isn't that game on Game Pass?
Yeah,
The Football Manager.
At least one of them is, yeah. I don't know if
Let's
it's like the new one or not.
I think they just put the 24 on. There might be 25. I don't know.
I think it is 24 because I keep getting X notifications that their servers are down like every day, or like people are having trouble logging in. I don't know how that keeps happening.
World may never know.
Guess not.
What's next on our docket? What else we got for topics?
Well, next I was gonna say, what's a level that you can replay without getting bored? Like you can just keep playing it and it still feels like the first time you play it.
You two are gonna have to take a point on this one. Any time to think.
Any Fallout New Vegas or Skyrim missions. They will never get old. I don't know how many times I've gone to Bleak Falls Barrow. Don't care. I'm still slaughtering everything in there with very happy feelings going through my body.
I didn't realize we were picking a whole game.
Well, okay. Well, they don't have like specific missions for the most part. Okay, I mean they do.
Yeah, you just described that they had all these missions in Fallout and Skyrim, and then said all of it.
Yeah, it's just so good. Fine. The final mission in Modern Warfare 3.
That's a really good pick.
Like original Modern Warfare
Yeah.
3?
Yes, no one wants to play the new one.
Yeah.
And if
When
you
you
need
push-
help.
You push through to that hotel or mall, whatever, with Yuri in
with
Juggernaut
Yuri.
suits, hang
Mm.
Makarov from a cable and light up a cigar.
for soap, the real
Yeah.
soap, not the ripoff they gave us.
Yeah, me as a however-year-old boy weeping at the death of Soap, and then he's like, "We're gonna go kill this son of a bitch." I was like, "Yeah, we are. Like, let's go." Juggernaut suit up.
You see the start of the mission is you playing as Price, and you see Yuri put on a Juggernaut outfit, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's happening!"
Yeah, that might be the best final mission in a COD game.
Wrong. Train go boom. Best mission in COD.
That was
game.
not the last mission.
It might as well have been. After that, I don't remember anything in the game.
How could you not remember it? They had the hit star from Law and Order SVU, Chris Maloney.
Yeah, him being like, the forest is here. It's the devil. Oh,
The forest is here. It's the devil. Such a gripping narrative. If they hadn't gone really like over the top, trying to be super like big brain, like trying to be like a film bro, how he would try to write a movie like that or a game like that, it probably would have worked pretty well. Because like the plot twist of you being him all along, to me, does work. Because like you see it with like we've had good plot twists in the past where Rezdov's not real, at least not in Black Ops 1. He's real in World at War, but all these events that Mason was witnessing really didn't happen exactly how he remembered, and it works for the twist. Black Ops 1's a great campaign, all in all, solid story. But then Black Ops 3 was like super, like, I don't want to say meta because it's not really the term, but like super convoluted with how they portrayed you two being interlinked mentally.
it wasn't even like that bad of a story either. It's just how they did it.
Yeah.
If it would just been a simple, yeah, there's a rogue band of soldiers that have this DNI implant, and you have it too, but they've gone bad and rogue. Oh my god, if we need to stop them, then they find out that you've been corrupted this entire time. It's just, oh yeah, here's a memory of something that happened. Replay it, then do it again, and then do it again. Then, oh my god, that was you? Who would have thought?
And then imagine yourself in a frozen forest.
Yeah, and then frozen forest for every 4 seconds of the final like 3 missions. Frozen forest, the frozen forest.
It was cool when they did the mission where you go back to I think they sent you to Bastogne, where you face off against like old like Nazi soldiers.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not. It's the old standoff map.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if I remember if that was in Bastogne or not, but
I think they might have just said they used that map and just said it's somewhere else.
yeah,
because I'm pretty
the
sure
campaign map or
Yeah.
in the campaign and multiplayer too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Bastogne, but I could be wrong. But like, you just going back in time and fighting Nazis with like the futuristic tech and guns felt really natural, oddly enough, and that was cool. But yeah, it fell apart too quickly at the end.
And now they're just in a whatever they're doing. I don't even know. They got stuck in going too far back, trying to reinvent everything, and it's just not working.
Hey, it will work because this year we're getting Black Ops Gulf War.
Yeah, I can't wait for whatever his name is again to come back and shoot me again. Oh, what was his name?
Adler.
That's the T. Oh yeah, Adler. Yeah, I can't wait for him to come back and shoot me again.
Which that one will also be weird because that's like the first Treyarch title. I mean, I can only say this year. Next year, this will no longer be true. This will be the first Treyarch title set in like a modern-ish time because everything else was in the past, or then they had Black Ops 2 and 3 in the future and 4, all future slated, and then Black Ops 2 next year will be current, which I don't like saying that. Or no, it's this year. It's 2012. It was set in 2025. No, never mind. I was right. Aha. I know how time works. But it'll be interesting because, yeah, Cold War was... I think everyone just kind of thought Cold War was okay. I didn't really have too many gripes about it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. I enjoyed the different endings. I thought those were at least decent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you can betray your group after you find out what they've done, or you could be the good guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really so much of a different ending compared to how they used to. Like Black Ops 2 had set storylines in each campaign mission, and it was like, oh, you did this in this campaign mission, now this person's gone.
Right.
And Cold War is just like, oh, do you want to tell them the truth or lie? And that was it. It's like, oh, well, if you tell them the truth, then you get to go raid this base with them, and if you don't tell them the truth, you get to kill them. Woo! But after that, it was just like, oh yeah, you're either getting shot and betrayed, or you're just betraying. There's no real ramifications for that. So I mean, we should just see how they're gonna make that actually work, if they even do, or if Gulf War is just going to be a total spin off of a different group, which it probably will be.
It probably needs to be, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's good to introduce new characters to the universe, especially with them being interconnected now. Because if there's a future title from either team, I say either because we know Sledgehammer is incapable. So it's really just Infinity Ward and Treyarch.
Sledgehammer's capable. They're not free, and that's the problem. If they would just merge Sledgehammer and Raven together, they would make a good game. They made the Modern Warfare remake, and it was solid, like pretty damn good. And then they tried to make them do it again, and it was terrible because they have no freedom. Infinity Ward's just like looming over them.
Yeah, Raven, I do think needs to kind of absorb Sledgehammer, and then move forward. Like I didn't mind Advanced Warfare. I know a bunch of people hated on it. It had its problems, but I liked a good amount of it. And then no one liked Vanguard, understandably. And then World War II, I think, is also kind of a mixed bag, depending on who you ask.
It was all right. It was fun for like the first month or two. Messing around in the live lobbies, that was cool. I like that idea.
Oh, the headquarters, yeah.
Yeah, the headquarters. And you could do the shooting range gun games with your friends where it gives you random weapons. That was fun.
Yeah.
But the actual multiplayer was not that great. But they did build on Gridiron, and that was fun.
Gridiron was fun. And as I've said in a previous podcast episode, Skip Meister and we were a part of an 8-man custom game Gridiron match. And we had a gentleman's rule that we could only use shovels. Shovels and what, throwing knives?
I believe it was, in fact, yes, throwing knives.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I never had a whole lot of people to play that game with. Most of my friends just didn't buy it, so I was just kind of like sticking it out in public lobbies by myself, maybe with one other person. But I will say that war mode they came up with was a decent concept, but they never evolved it.
Yeah, and they took out the best part of it. The enemy is building the bridge!
Yeah.
The bomb has been planted! And after they lost that, it just... Then there's like 3 maps.
True.
They could have just added like 2 more. Just a little bit more dynamic. But that's just how it is.
That mode opens up the door for them to try out so many different things instead of it just being capture the points and hold them for longer than the opponents, get more kill, the standard COD, mode fare. It could be like, yeah, you have to escort this truck, like a payload, type of game for COD. Okay. You have to, assemble this barracks in time before this enemy assault gets to you. Stuff like that. Like the modes can feel diverse within one mode and be a little bit more engaging, I think, than, the standard COD formula, which I think for most people is kind of wearing thin.
Yeah, I think we need to start seeing like more diverse COD games, especially going on in the future, because it's just been the same thing, and everyone stops playing after a month and just goes back to Warzone.
And that's the problem. People are leaving the main game, but they still play Warzone, which is attached to that game. So they're spending money because they want skins in Warzone. And it's like making Activision and Treyarch and Infinity Ward be like, oh, look, they do like it. And half their player base is just strictly on one mode, and that's it.
Yeah, Warzone is absolutely a problem. Like the concept of it was pretty cool in terms of like it's a COD battle royale. I stand by Blackout was better. I will die on that hill. But
you can die alone.
I know. It's just, it was like a new battle royale, whatever, we'll check it out. And then the idea of like, if you buy a cosmetic in a current COD title, it will transfer to Warzone and you can still use it. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'm actually now incentivized to maybe buy a bundle here and there. But unfortunately, then they made it to where you have Warzone 2, and likely in the next 2 years, we'll see Warzone 3 because it seems like they're only going to do 3 CODs and then update Warzone. So then it locks out that content. So really, there is no purpose in buying those skins still.
Well, so you can use them for those 2 years that you have the game if you're still playing.
Right. It's do you want to buy a skin that's overpriced and you have like almost no time with it? Because like if the skins were $10,
It's $40, $10 for the skin, $10 for the gun skin, and then the other 20's on a calling card and an XP boost. It's worth it.
Don't forget the execution.
Oh yeah, that's if it comes with one.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're real lazy and it's just like the most generic thing you've ever seen.
Shoots him in the back of the head. It's like, got him.
I will say
Thanks.
the Doom skin was pretty cool.
Like the whole Mastercraft system also doesn't. The whole weaponsmith doesn't work for me, and so the Mastercraft system I really don't like because yeah, you have these set attachments for this gun, and if you want to change any of them, it doesn't look right. Yay, that's my favorite. Like you couldn't even be bothered, even on like the highest tier ones. It's not like they bothered to actually go through and make all the attachments have a skin for that, that actual camo. No, one attachment for each slot, and they go, that's the one you get. That sight, that magazine, that stock, that underbarrel.
Which might not even be usable in a week because they're constantly going through and updating and changing at the whim of player bases because they all scream.
Right. Because, especially for Warzone, they want to keep it the balance moving around, even though it doesn't matter because whatever the top weapon is, you get to a weapon station, you buy it because it is the most lazy battle royale when it comes to actually making you hunt for loot. All in a loadout with your exact required, build. It's like, thanks.
All right, Harmon, you can go with your answer for your best level now.
All right. So this may not come to a shock to anyone, but it is from Halo.
Oh,
Might just so happen to be the final level of Halo 3. It's been said a lot, not by me, but by other people, but also by me. Halo 3 is a god tier campaign, and I will gladly play through any of the levels. Scratch that. The second to last level, I'd never want to touch again. But
When's the next to last one?
that's the one where you go save Cortana.
Oh, with that like actual flesh maze that you can't find out where you're going.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the only one I will refuse to replay on my own accord. But I will replay any of them. The last one specifically. And that's because I get to listen to Warthog run.
And it's super cinematic. And so even for Halo, that one stands out as being like more cinematic than a lot of the other ones.
You fight across all this flood. You activate the Halo ring. Then you and Arbiter have to race to the Warthog and navigate through explosions, flood, sentinels, everything while on a timetable to get to the ship and get the hell out of there. Very cinematic.
That is a really good pick. I knew you were going to pick Halo. I figured that was the one you were going to go with, but I wasn't sure.
I was expecting something from Hello Kitty, My Adventure.
No. It was either that or it was going to be the final mission of Halo 2. Or the second to last mission with Arbiter. Because I find the two missions after the elites are betrayed by the Covenant, because you get to lead a whole bunch of elites against troops of the Covenant and fight, I swear to God, is a tough boss fight at the final mission of 2 against Tartarus.
You remember that one being actually a bit of a pain?
I do. Because you shoot him with all these weapons. God forbid you use energy sword. Use energy sword. He just turns around and whacks you with that gravity hammer.
Yeah.
He's like, no, goodbye. You're dead.
What do you mean you don't think he's easier than the truth fight?
He got you
Are
there.
are you talking about the one prophet earlier in the game?
The one with his wheelchair.
Yeah, I think that's Regret. Prophet of Regret.
That fight with him in his little hover chair like Frieza from Dragon Balls. Something.
It sucks too because enemies don't stop spawning until you kill him. So if you think, oh, I'm going to clear out his guard and then I'll just go kill him. No, they'll keep spawning and they'll keep coming back with energy swords.
Yeah, you got to jump up on there, just keep punching him in the face.
Yeah, and that's if you're lucky because he does push you off if you take too long too. He's like, get out of here. Get.
Go on. Go. Stamp it.
And then he has that stupid beam that he shoots you with. And it doesn't hurt. It just pushes you away. You just get pushed away and you're like, well, that happened, I guess.
Yeah, it's more of a spite boss fight than anything else. Like, he's not really trying to kill you. He's just more annoyed with you.
kill you very hard and very roughly.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna beat you till you can't breathe no more.
He's just carrying, all right.
Yeah, there's that. Halo 3 boss fight against Guilty Spark is pretty great until you get pushed off the map. And then, especially if you have the skull on, where if you die, you have to restart the whole game.
Yep.
I had that. I did that once because I wanted to get the par score, and I'm like, oh, this should be easy. I shouldn't die. Yeah, I died at that point, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'll wait till I have someone else, because then it just says checkpoint.
So you took the coward's way out.
Exactly. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I can't believe this.
Kind of moving away from video games now. Did you guys see that the Netflix Avatar is renewed for not 2 seasons, but a 3rd season as well?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Which is mind-blowing that the first season didn't even finish the entire first actual season of the TV show from 2005. It was 8 episodes, and I was like, ooh, we don't know what we're doing.
I still haven't watched it yet, so I still don't have an official review of it. I want to. I want to watch it. Mainly for the actress who plays Suki, but different story.
Leave her alone.
Different story. I want to watch it. I want to watch it with the mind that it's not the 2006 Avatar that I knew. It's different.
It's the 2010 M. Night Shyamalan hit movie.
No.
There you go. Another adaptation you could pretend is decent because it's not the cartoon.
Correct.
I got that for like my birthday because I didn't see the movie in theaters. So I brought it into my class so we could watch. And we started watching through it. I'm like, all right, could we just take our test that you were going to give us actually?
I was going to say, did everyone like beat you up or something for that?
Well, it was only like him and 3 other kids, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. 4th grade, we had like 10 people.
10? Oh, 10. Sorry. Whoa.
All right, listen.
Kids.
It was okay for what I thought when I was young, but looking back, it was not that great.
It's not good.
Much rather just not watch it and just watch the cartoon.
Yeah, I was willing to give that show a shot. I heard the turmoil going on behind the closed doors of Netflix with the original creators of the series leaving. They left the project fairly early on. I was like, well, that's not a good sign, but I'll still hear them out. The first couple episodes are fine for the most part. There's a couple things that's like, well, I don't really think that works like that, or, certain editing decisions that are a little strange, but it's fine. Then they start fundamentally changing characters, and that I did not like in like very major ways, because we heard that, like, for those who don't know, there's the character Sokka, who starts out the series as being this very close-minded, patriarchal, like sexist type, and like not to be like, he's not trying to be mean with it. He just, that's all he knows is he's been taught to protect the women in his tribe, and he's a warrior, that kind of deal. So that ideology just kind of shaped his worldview because he lived in a tribe at the South Pole. So, it's a pretty close-minded group. And then over the course of the series, especially early on, he gets humbled very early by Suki, who shows him that women can protect themselves, whatever. And it's more just about, being a protective person without assuming that others can't do things and whatnot. So he grows and learns as a character and develops. They got rid of that. The thing I can't stand with, though, this isn't like a spoiler. There's the character Boomy in the cartoon, who is Aang's childhood friend from before he went into the ice. Yada, yada, yada. They show up, and now Boomy's old. Aang's still a kid because he was frozen in ice. And Boomy is this vengeful, spiteful old man who, like, borderline hates him because he wasn't around. Versus in the show, he's just happy to see him again. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Boomy's entire thing in the original show was that he was, like, playing around with him for the first, like, 20 minutes of an episode, and then it's like, oh, Aang, I'm so happy to see you. And I was like, I hate you. Get out of here.
Yeah, in the original, it's that whole thing where he starts subtly testing him, because, like, Aang is a vegetarian, so they offer him the 2 meals. He picks the vegetarian option because, whatever. So Boomy knows these things, so he's, like, prodding at him, because Aang in the show doesn't realize who it is. Boomy in the live action tells him immediately who he is, and then proceeds to wail on him. It's not even close. It's completely different characters because he's a borderline, like in the show where like Boomy is shown to be this like basically senile, but then it turns out that's really more of an act that he's been putting on, at least to a certain extent. He's a little crazy and eccentric, but he's not, dementia ridden. In the show, he is a dementia ridden old man.
Well, I'll still have an open mind when I go to watch it, but I probably won't like it.
In certain areas, they seem to understand the material. Then in other areas, it's like they didn't try because again, they added a scene. I know I talked to you guys about this off recording, but they added a scene in the first season where it's Zuko talking to Iroh in his extended scene about Iroh's son's passing at his funeral, and it does a good job of showing like the contrast between Azula and him. How she talks to Iroh about his fallen son versus Zuko. Zuko tries to like do a very Fire Nation thing, be like, yeah, your son died with honor because he served the Fire Nation. And then he walks away and then he's like, that's not what I should have said. He comes back and like gives him a medal or something that his son had given him to make him more courageous. And it goes on this whole speech about like, your son was braver than I could have ever been. That's why he didn't need this. And he's like, I think you should have it. And he puts it in his hand. And you just see this like long take of Iroh with like a tear streaming down one side of his face while trying to remain stoic over, his son's passing. And it does a lot for those characters that already have great development in the show, like for their actual cartoon. But then, yeah, the other stuff I mentioned before is just that's not it.
That is unfortunate. But also, I think that's where we're going to end it today, with that tidbit of a new scene. But anyways, this has been episode 7 of the Split Screen Experience. And today with our special guest.
Yo boy.
Get Meister.
And our ever-talented co-host.
It's me, Andrew.
And I'm Harmon. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.